Hello everybody. Thanks so much for joining the webinar this afternoon. Today I'll be speaking on the topics of Google Plus local business page optimization. My goals for the webinar are to allow you to not only be able to understand the importance of Google Plus, but also to be able to implement specific strategies that will impact your new client growth numbers. Some of this is a bit technical, but don't worry, the webinar is being recorded and will be available for you and your staff to reference in the future. I'm going to be using some real case examples of real veterinary practices I have optimized, and hopefully you'll be convinced that optimizing your Google Plus local page is critical to your marketing success, and you'll have the tools to do so. Google Plus Local, or the Google Plus network, is one of the most important things you can optimize in social media. Google Plus Local is actually a combination of the Google Plus social network and the Google Places business listing platform, which have recently been combined for businesses into what is known as the Google Plus Local. Optimizing your Google Plus Local page is basically as important as having a sign outside your practice or having insurance or a website. However, from the hundreds of veterinary practices I have analyzed, it's one of the single most overlooked marketing opportunities that a practice can optimize without even paying for someone. So why is it important? Well, first of all, your website rankings partially depend on it. The Google algorithm takes into account the online brand reputation reviews that you have accumulated to rank in local results. The local results are called the 7-pack and are the ones highlighted here in green that have the addresses and phone numbers and reviews. The key to Google Plus is making sure that you associate your practice name, address, phone number, and website with your Google Plus page. It's absolutely critical that you only have one Google Plus page that is associated correctly with your business and no more than that. Having duplicate local pages can be quite devastating to your local search rankings, and I'll show you an example of that in a little bit. The second reason why your Google Plus brand page is important and should be optimized is because it is what shows up on mobile devices when you carry out a search on them. It isn't your website. Some website providers offer a mobile site, but that isn't what customers see first. That's one of the reasons why LifeLearn wanted me to speak about this topic before, before they get to your mobile site. They come from your Google Plus brand page and listing. Look at this example of a search for Partridge Animal Hospital. The result that takes up almost the entire screen is the Google Plus local page. And if you look down at the bottom, you can see there's a call button, directions, and website. If you haven't optimized and associated your business correctly, those buttons won't work. Reason number 3. Since it is a Google product, you can actually measure the ROI of having a Google Plus optimized brand page. Google has great analytics for all their products. Furthermore, you can also collect information about how people are finding your business and what they typed into Google to find your business. Let me show you an example. Here's an example of an attorney's Google Plus analytics dashboard that I optimized their Google Plus local page. This data represents the traffic on his Google Plus local page before and after I optimized it. You can see the activity on their Google Plus page. That's the graph there. And there was no search queries being performed that landed potential clients on their website and pushed them to become a customer prior to when I optimized the page and their associated brand. But you can see what happened at the blue arrow and then the increase in activity after that arrow. Lastly, your Google Plus page tells you which queries in Google and Google Maps are attracting people to your brand. In this case, this attorney thought that the elder law keywords were much more important than the tax, but in this case, the tax law was a major search driver for his firm. So these search query data were used to formulate an on-website search engine optimization strategy. So, other reasons it's important. Well, having your clients be engaged to post content on your brand page is important. If it looks good and they can associate their experiences with your brand, it increases the likelihood that clients will leave reviews. There are a whole bunch of other wonderful things that can come of this, but let me just focus on one powerful advantage that veterinarians can leverage, especially if they write for external publications or on their own blog, news section, etc. And that's the ability to claim authorship. Let me give you an example of that. So, for example, for my own Google Plus page, I've optimized it for Google to identify where I write and where I'm published. This is the same concept as optimizing a business local page for the physical location and the services they provided, and also their publications. So if you type the name of an article I wrote into Google, the results will show not only my article, but also my headshot next to the article I wrote for DVM 360. DVM 360 had nothing to do with providing that photograph. I did by optimizing my Google Plus profile page. Not only that, but Google now gives additional results about me under the top search results, such as my LinkedIn profile, my Twitter page, etc. So if a practice writes for a local newspaper, for example, they can associate their business profile with the publication and benefit from these kind of search results. And it's been shown that if you have your picture or your brand's picture next to an article, it's much more likely to be clicked on. To create your Google Plus local page, you'll want to sign into your Google account or create one, and then go down to the bottom where it says More to access the page icon. However, I've seen many practices make the mistake of not searching for their page first, and they create a duplicate listing. So before we do that, let's do a search for your existing listing. Here's a practice I work with that came to me because they weren't ranking well. So within a week or two, I had them ranking #1 for their top keywords like St. Petersburg, Florida vet, etc. in the organic results. But I was unable to rank them in the local results in the 7-pack. Remember that green box. After some investigation, I discovered that they had 2 Google Plus pages, and that precluded them from showing up in local results. We're now going to go through the process of getting the duplicate page removed, and let me tell you, that's a real pain because Google is basically not very cooperative and hard to get in touch with. So, you need to search for your business page. Always search for your business page. Put in your practice address to be sure that you aren't going to be creating a duplicate page for another business that was at your address that had claimed that location. Startups will indeed have to create a new page as described in the previous slides. An alternative way to find your practice Google Plus page is to go to Google Maps. You type your business name and location and then click on the More Info link, and that's highlighted in the blue circle there. That'll take you directly to it. So here's an example of a veterinary practice that has not claimed their Google Plus local page. Notice that Google has pulled their Street View photo from Google Maps. Sometimes there are cars driving by in these photos or vagrants. It can be pretty bad. And you notice this one, it looks pretty empty and out of business. Circled in blue in the bottom right is the button you use to manage your page. After you click on this, you can claim your page. This process involves you having to be at your practice, because when you're at your practice, you can verify that you are indeed the owner of the practice by having Google call you with an automated message on your practice telephone that gives you a code to enter in to verify your ownership. Alternatively, you can have a postcard mailed to you, but that takes forever. So now that you've claimed your page, you're going to have to prepare the content. So the content you need is a minimum of 6 high-quality photos. You want 1 high-res logo. You can automatically crop, and I'll show you how to do that within the application. But the logo dimensions are 250 by 250 pixels. You'll want to optimize cover photo, and there's the dimensions, so it's pretty big. And then at least 5 images. I'm going to talk about EXIF data and associating the geolocation with your pictures in a little bit. And then you'll definitely want to come up with your specialties, your hours of operation, everything about your business. If there's a differentiating factor, like you give stem cell therapy for arthritis, or you have a rehabilitation center, or you do some water treadmill work or whatever, that should really go in there, because people will type that stuff in and your location, and then you'll get new clients from it. And then lastly, we're going to talk about reviews, and you need reviews because it impacts your Google rankings, and hopefully they're positive, and I'll show you how to do that to drive reviews. So there's been some recent changes. Basically, if you can create a Facebook page, you can do this, but recent changes have occurred, and by recent I mean this month. Here's the Partridge Animal Hospital's Google Plus page before and after the changes have occurred. Partridge needs to go in there and get a larger image for their cover photo, because right now, and I'll show you that in a bit, their new profile picture is actually covering their sign and their branding. Also, I would crop the profile picture out farther so the doctors in the circle profile aren't cut off, and that's on the blue arrow. Let's look at another example. So here is a before and after Google Plus page that is not optimized. You can see what their page looked like before the Google Plus changes on the left and after the changes on the right. This practice doesn't have a large cover photo, therefore Google has just put in their map. The purple arrow is pointing to that. Then you can see that their profile picture has been cropped, and as a consequence, the name of their practice has been cut off. You can see this at the blue arrow. Another feature is that the cover photo image expands when you scroll in the direction of the red arrow up and down. This means you have more real estate to showcase your brand. So let's look at another example of a potential for optimizing for online brand reputation. Here's an example of a practice that has designated their cover photo but used a low quality image that is not optimized. On the right you can see the image they use for the cover photo. This is really not an appealing page for their brand. The ideal image would showcase their hospital, encourage customers to leave reviews, and would be welcoming and professional. Let's see what I would do to optimize this. Doesn't that look better? Which practice would you bring your pet to? Notice the please leave a review arrow that is in the white space. Also notice the fact that the full size allows us to use a welcoming message and present the brand. And this isn't very difficult. Not very difficult at all. In fact, only one photo needs to be created by a graphic designer. So here is that photo, the profile picture, the name of the practice, contact info, follow, and plus buttons. Those are all superimposed by Google like this. So you don't even have to do that stuff. You upload the image and boom, they take care of it for you. So how do you do this? Well, when you go to your business page, and I'll use an example when I upgraded my cover photo. So when you go to your business page, you'll see a blue box at the top. Click on Change Yours Now. You have a photo and you use their directions, you crop the photo, they have a photo cropping tool in there, and then you have to confirm the upgrade, which is irreversible. And there we have it. So step 1, upload the photo, crop it, and then confirm. And then looks great. So if you have any questions about the cover photo, we can cover those at the end. Let's now talk about the EXIF data. So EXIF data is a more advanced way to associate your photos with your address, telephone number, and business. And some local SEO experts think that Google is using this in their algorithms, and those that don't think they are, they think will be incorporating it very soon. So EXIF stands for Exchangeable Image File Format. Basically, EXIF data is used for search to associate a place with an image. An example of this would be if you have a digital radio in your car, and when you are tuning to a station and then a song comes on, sometimes the artist and the name of the song will ticker tape across the screen, and that's basically metadata. That's the same concept. It's associating a brand with the actual radio signal, that song. So the easiest way to add geographic EXIF data is to use Picasa, which is an image editing tool offered for free by Google. Here is the address for that. You can use Picasa in Windows and Mac, so any computer will run it. So once you import the images you want to tag, you need to click on the location pin at the lower right hand corner there, circled in blue. The location pin will pop up a Google Maps magically, and basically you can type in your practice address where the blue circle is there at the bottom right. Once you do that, it will actually associate that address, that geolocation, the longitude and latitude, with the photo. So you can actually know that it has EXIF data attached to it, because in the lower right hand corner of the thumbnail of the image, it'll have a little pin there. So if you want to verify that it actually did it, you can right click on the thumbnail and go to Properties, and it'll actually show that the GPS latitude and longitude have been associated with the image. So you can go ahead and export these images at the bottom where I circled there, and now Google has a stronger association of your Google Plus local business page and your brand and your location for SEO purposes. So a little bit of warning: although you can claim your page and change a whole bunch of things, the updates can be kind of frustrating. The updates can take 24 hours to a week to go into effect, so changes in your rankings will also be delayed. Also, the more times you try to update your page, the longer you are going to have to wait to see results. So Really, it can be like the digital version of spinning your tires in mud. So what I want to tell you is when you're fill out the whole page and all your details and then click update instead of doing one line update, because it'll go live quicker. So in order to understand why your online brand reputation reviews are important, you'll first need to understand the importance of the Google Centroid for ranking businesses locally. On this map, you'll see St. Petersburg, Florida. The closer to the centroid, the higher a vet hospital will rank for search terms like St. Petersburg, Florida veterinarian. But this doesn't mean that practice B can't outrank practice A in the local results. And remember, the local results are the 7-pack that showed up below the organic blended search results, and they're the ones with the address, phone number, and the online reviews associated with them. So basically, there are 3 ways to overcome centroid bias. It's a big factor for a local practice. The proximity to the centroid also plays a major part in suburban practices, although the competition is higher in urban practices. For many keyword spaces in smaller towns, Google actually doesn't have enough listings to fill the 7-pack. So as a result, it pulls listings from the town's neighbors, often the main city in the area, which increases competition in suburban markets. If you aren't showing up in the 7-pack because of your location, only there are 3 strategies to help you overcome those results. The first one is on-site SEO, which I covered in another lecture series. The second is a megalink. I'm not sure when I started using that phrase, but it's just a very quick way to talk about a local link from a university, radio station, or newspaper that signals to Google that you're an influential local business. And I cover how to get these in another lecture series. But what we are going to talk about here is the third way, which is to increase your online ratings and your reviews, the number of reviews. Currently, Google only takes into account your number of online brand reputation ratings rather than the quality of the ratings, but it's anticipated that that will change soon. If a practice has 30+ reviews, they will outrank their competition that is closer to the centroid. That's what SEOs have been seeing. So it's the number of reviews, not the quality, but quality is going to be important in the future. There are several strategies to augment your ratings. You should first focus on Google+, and then Yelp, and then Yahoo. Google's own reviews are taken into account more for Google than external reviews, while Yelp reviews are particularly important when talking about Maps application on Apple mobile devices. Apple Maps pulls from Yelp reviews, so that makes it critical for that segment of the population that use Apple iPhones and iPads to have Yelp reviews. I wrote an article for the Team magazine on a low-tech technique that I developed to encourage customers to leave a positive review. And you can find it at this URL. It's a good article to get started. The only thing that has changed since I wrote that article is that when they did the Google update, the actual rating button on mobile devices disappeared. It's a bug that they're working on. So I would hold off on the QR code until you go to your page on a mobile device and the leave a review button is there. Might be fixed already, I haven't checked. So I recommend you read this article to get up to speed with this low-tech, affordable way to increase your online brand reputation and search rankings. So there are low-tech and high-tech ways. The higher-tech way is to automate a little bit of this and decrease the steps necessary to leave a review. So currently, when you think about what a customer has to go through to leave a review, it can be quite menacing. So they have to be told, hey, can you leave us a review? They have to go to the website. If they don't have a Google Plus account, they're going to have to register a Gmail account. Then they have to verify their email address, put in some personal information, their cell phone number. Then they have to go to their email, and then they have to verify that they're actually a human. Then they have to log in. Then they have to go, because when you set up your new account, it doesn't bring you back to the business page, and they have to go back and find it. Then they have to think back about their experience and write a review and then submit it. So you have to think that there's a lot of barriers. So the way to get around this is to segment your list. So there could be over 20 steps for a customer to leave a review if they're not already set up to do so. So by segmenting your customer list into 4 categories, you can optimize the acquisition reviews by minimizing the effort required by a customer type. So by doing so, you can get rid of 4 obstacles. I recommend you use your practice management software to export your email list. Then you can use Excel to segment your list by email provider. The goal is to segment out the Yahoo and Gmail users and then general users. And I'll talk about Yelp in a little bit. So you can send the Gmail users a targeted email requesting them to leave a review on Google Plus local. So since they already have a Google Gmail account, there's very little barriers for them to leave a review. They just click on the link, write the review, and press submit. You can also send your Yahoo email segment a Yahoo local profile link to leave a review. So with Yahoo, which is really nice, is you can also ask your Facebook fans on your wall to leave a review on Yahoo, because the advantage of Yahoo there with Facebook is there's a Facebook login button. So you'll know that they can just press that button, leave a review, and press submit. Yelp, you really can't, according to their policies, try to market them to leave a Yelp review, and Yelp can be a little bit more difficult. But there are these Yelp stickers that practices can get in a window, and I've tried to go on eBay and find them. I've tried to do anything to buy one of those and see how to do that, but you can't. So what Yelp does is once you have a bunch of Yelp positive reviews, they'll actually send you one. So let me know if you get a Yelp sticker and how many reviews it took. So just be sure to fill out your entire Yelp profile and optimize it similarly to your Google Plus page. And if you know any Yelpers, be sure to ask them to write a review. Google is considering going towards, in their algorithm, basically looking at power users, power reviewers, and there's people that leave all these reviews about restaurants and local businesses in their area. They're going to be considered more important than myself as a Yelp reviewer. So if you know any power Yelpers, get them to write a great review for your practice. So, other strategies, there are endless possibilities for where and when you can ask for reviews. It should be considered something that is integrated into the everyday workflow because your rankings, reputation, and revenues are intimately associated with your online brand reputation. So you can ask for reviews on your invoices, your website, your business card, your signage, and when somebody thanks you and says, hey, I want to bake you some cookies, say, hey, forget the cookies, why don't you leave me a Yelp review or leave me a Google Plus review. So now that your page is optimized, you need to make sure that your website is pointing to your Google Plus page. I'm going to show you the do-it-yourself way to first do that, and then I'm going to circle back and show you how to add your developer or your website provider. So don't freak out if this is too advanced. There are several reasons why you'd want to link to your Google Plus local page from a badge on your website. The first reason is that Google Plus recommendations actually do impact rankings, so the plus ones, when you click on it. If a page has hundreds of those, then Google will look at them as more authoritative. The second reason is that it'll clue your customers into the fact that you have a Google Plus page and allow them to leave reviews. And lastly, putting up the badge better associates your local business with your Google Plus page and can help with the 7-pack local rankings. So, for the do-it-yourselfer, this first step will be to click on the cog setting icon on your page, and then you're logged into your Google account, so it'll just go to the website, connect your website section, and you press get the badge. When you press get the badge, it will basically transfer you to the Google developers website where you can customize your badge and copy the code. This code can then be used by do-it-yourselfers who have some website development experience to add the badge to your website, or you can email that code to your developer. So, for those people who think this is over their head, alternatively, you can add your developer as an admin for your page so they can access the code. To do this, you just go to the settings from the settings cog icon. Click on the managers tab and enter their email address into the add managers by email field and hit invite. That'll email them, and then that'll add your developer to be able to create a badge and link your website to your Google Plus page. So, you have some of the tools that you need to optimize your Google Plus page. Really appreciate you guys, and thank you for LifeLearn inviting me to do this presentation. So we'll get to questions in a second. Just before that, if you like to get more webinars like this, and I do them all the time, you can go ahead and sign up, and you can go to www.psi-inc.net/jed and fill out a brief form, and then get this kind of content in your inbox. And if you guys have any questions that you think of after the webinar, feel free to email me. and have a great day, and I appreciate your afternoon spending it with me. Thanks.